Okay, welcome everyone to the September Yoga Teacher Training Weekend. We're on the other side of summer. Megan is teaching this weekend. Normally I do not teach in September, but I'm just doing the introduction the Friday night for her this weekend, and she will be here for Saturday and Sunday. This is the Yoga Energetics weekend, which is a pretty interesting weekend, especially if you are looking to go deeper than just the bones and the muscles and get into the more subtle body aspects of yoga, which really is the deeper, most important aspects of yoga in the traditions of yoga, for sure. So I will briefly introduce what Megan is going to talk about in a lot more detail this weekend. So I suggest that you get out your pen and paper because I do want you to take notes. We will do that little intro to the chakras so that tonight you will go to sleep with all of the names of the chakras in your mind. And have some sense of what Megan's going to go into a lot more detail about. I think that this is an important topic, and so should be something you hear a whole bunch of different ways and a whole bunch of different times so that it slides off of your tongue and bounces around in your head with a lot of accessibility, because it's such a foundation concept for yoga studies and yoga teaching. So tonight you'll get a little intro. I'm going to get you to take notes, and then I will get you to do a little refresher yourself after we finish the practice today. So I will introduce the chakras. We'll do a practice that's a little focused on the chakras to introduce the idea of bringing chakras into your class. And afterward, I think we'll finish at about 9 o'clock, and what I'll get you to do when you finish the practice is I'd like for you to sit up and fill in the little chart that I'm going to draw for you right now from memory, ideally, after we've spent 2 hours talking about the chakras. So before I start explaining the chakras, is there anything that anyone wants to ask or say? It's been a while since I have seen any of you. So it's good to see you all. It's been a while since I've been even teaching, because I've been back for a month and just took the whole of August off, but I've been in quarantine for a long time. I really needed to get out. So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to see all of you. I know some of you taught over the summer at the market, and I'd like for you guys to talk about that, but I think I'd like for you to talk about it when Megan is there, and maybe when you guys are all in the room together, which so save that. But if you have any questions about anything else that pertains to this weekend, here's an opportunity to throw that out before we get into the nuts and bolts of chakras. If you have a question, you can unmute, or anything you want to share, unmute and go ahead. Yeah, is someone's hand up? No. Okay. Okay. So we are good to go. I'm going to draw a picture, and I want you to also draw. So on my whiteboard here, I'm going to draw a person in meditation. So just draw a little circle and a neck. I might have to turn off my big light. Give me a second. Can you guys still see me? Can someone give me? Yeah? Okay. So here's here's the head of the person that you are going to draw. And some arms like they are in meditation with their arms out. So it's just like two little triangles. And then two bigger triangles with small bottoms. Those are the legs, like you're sitting in meditation. Okay. And that's it. So you have a person sitting in meditation. And I'm going to say that the navel is about right here. The heart is about right here. Okay, and so the feet are down here, but also the pelvic floor is down here as well, the perineum. Perineum. So we have, okay, so the first chakra is here at the bottom of this person. I am not going, if it's like, if you feel like, wow, Bobby didn't spend a lot of time explaining chakras, that's because Megan is going to go into a great deal of detail over this weekend. But chakras are energy centers in the body. So we know it's not really clear what that means. It's prana. So we know that the body has a lot of energy centers where there's a lot of electrical crossover. All of the biological communications in our body are electrical and chemical. And there is sometimes presented in classes sometimes is the idea that these chakra, these important energy centers, are areas where there's a lot of nerve clusters and nerve crossovers. Maybe that is true, but at the end of the day, subtle body goes more subtle, smaller, less concrete than any of the molecules in our body. So it is prana, it is life force. So while prana is associated with the breath, it is even more subtle than the breath that we're breathing. And different parts of the body have really important crossover points. And that's where the chakras are. Chakra, like chakrasana, which just means wheel pose. Chakras bring to mind circular images, because chakra means circle. And so these swirling circles of energy are usually presented energetically in teachings as circular moving, sometimes flower petals. The first one is at the perineum, and it is red. So it is not literally red, because this is not even physical. This is less than physical, so it can't be red. But light has different frequencies, and the energy that impacts on this chakra is correlated with red. So it's always drawn with red. It's at the perineum. The next one is near the navel. Now it's a bit, wrong color. Do not do yellow. Abort. The next one is orange. So again, it's not orange. But that's the energy that even when you're meditating on it may come to mind. And it's near the navel. And this one is associated with physical structures in this area. So if something is damaged physically, like in a car accident or something in this area, then it may disrupt the flow of prana in this area. Or if the pranic flow is disrupted in this area, it may imbalance physically things here. Same as down here in the pelvic floor and the perineum. So this is the next chakra up. I'm going to do them all first. The next one is above the navel at the solar plexus. You may find that as you read about chakras, that some books will shift the positions of these chakras. Some schools I've studied in say that they are in the spine. Some say that they are more in front of the spine. One school of yoga that I study in has Manipura closer to the navel instead of higher up near where the ribs meet in the solar plexus. So there is a little bit of variation sometimes from school to school. The next one is yellow. The next one is right at the heart center, and it's green. And the next one is the throat, blue. The next one is the third eye, purple. And the top one is white. And I'm going to draw a whole bunch of flower petals here, because all of these are often described as being visualized, if you're trying to meditate on them, as having flower petals that move. So some people see swirls of energy, some people see cones of light. A lot of books visualize flower petals and different numbers of petals for each one. I'm not going to get into different numbers of petals tonight, but the top one is a white chakra, and it's the 1,000-petaled chakra. Megan will get into more details if you want to know how many petals are for each one and all of that. So I'm going to say the names, ideally by the end of class, after we finish the hour-long class or so, however long it takes. You will have an empty one of these on the next page in your notebook. And when we finish, you'll be able to get up from your Shavasana and look at your body and write the name and the color of each one. And if you've done that, you'll be really ready to review and to go more deeply with Megan tomorrow. So the first one is Muladhara, Muladhara. Muladhara. Muladhara is at the perineum. Muladhara is associated with the most basic level of survival. So when this is disrupted, it can make you feel like you are not safe, that you have to struggle to stay alive. So the basic needs that you have feel met when you are balanced here. So for example, if you are in a war-torn area and survival is quite literally cannot be taken for granted, then that perpetual state from the external environment can create an imbalance here. But if you are physiologically and energetically imbalanced in an environment that is not threatening your survival, you can still feel like your survival is threatened. And that can show up in the way that you interact with the world and the way you feel, your emotional state. So it goes both ways. The outside affects the inside affects the outside, because there's no separation really, right? We've learned by now that everything is connected. Muladhara. I'm going to keep repeating the names a lot because I want them to come out of your mouth quite easily. And bandhas, remember we did bandhas, the locks, mula, bandha. Bandha means lock, mula bandha happens right here.
Bobby, can you just tip your screen down a tiny bit? So, thank you.
So Muladhara is the chakra. Mula bandha is the lock that we do, because we literally lift up the pelvic floor, the perineum, when we do that bandha. They're the nadis, which are the pathways. So we have these areas, these chakras, these important areas of crossover. Imagine if the pathways that prana flowed in your body, imagine they were like roads. And if you're in a big city, there are areas where there is a great deal of lots of, imagine an overpasses with many off ramps, like a lot of energetic exchange happening. Chakras are kind of like those areas in the body, but prana is everywhere. If you have a single cell in your body that does not have prana, does not have life force in it, then that cell is dead. So prana is everywhere in the body. There's a whole network of pranic pathways. These are simply places where there's a lot of pranic overlap and exchange and movement. So this is not the only place prana is in the body. The next one after Muladhara is Swadhisthana. S, sometimes seen as V, sometimes W. I don't know what, you can spell it however George Feuerstein spells it. Swadhisthana. 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 Could be a V. Because it's not a W and it's not a V. It's a Sanskrit sound that English does not have a perfect sound for, so different translations sometimes have different spellings. Swadhisthana is in the area of the uterus. It's creation. You don't need to remember everything about them right now. Muladhara, though, is root, security. Swadhisthana is creation, right? Uterus, literal creation there. And it could impact on creativity as well, right? Just general creativity, more symbolic. Swadhisthana. And remember that it's not just the energetic impact, the place where it's located in your body, it can impact on the organs and the health and wellness of that part of your body as well. The next one up is Manipura, M-A-N-I-P-U-R-A, Manipura. Manipura is a power center. It's where your sense of self is, where your sense of power is. Imbalance here goes both ways. So if it's weak and not active, then your imbalance here, say, could be always feeling like the victim, never feeling in control. Everything is someone else's fault. Or you can be too heavily balanced in the other, unbalanced in the other way, and be really aggressive and assertive in an inappropriate kind of way. So it's like all of these can have strengths, or out of balance, they can show up in either too little or too much activity. So Manipura is that power center. If you're looking to feel strength and sense of self, then this is where you meditate on Manipura, which is sort of where the ribs join here in many teachings, not in all teachings, but sort of that area where the ribs join at the bottom at the solar plexus. Okay. Manipura. So Muladhara is basic security. Swadhisthana is creativity. Manipura is willpower, strength, identity. Next one, really easy to remember what it does because it's all about love. Anahata. Anahata is the heart chakra. And it can... it's your ability to express love. You can be out of balance, super needy. I want everyone to love me, like, you know, and just not having a sense of a boundary. Or you can be cold and kind of block people out and feel unable to let people in, or unable to allow yourself to feel feelings. So all of those things could happen one way or the other. And then imbalance here energetically can also impact on the health and the wellness of the heart. Anahata. Anahata. So start thinking about trying to memorize these. Vishuddha. V-I-S-H-U-D-D-A. Vishuddha chakra is the throat chakra. It is also a creative center, but it is a center of expression. So you can be creative. You have to be able to express it. And this is a verbal expression, but also involves listening as well, because it's a communication and listening is part of the speaking. if you feel like you don't express yourself well, you have things to say, but you're not articulating them well. Or let's say you want things, but you don't ask for them. You keep thinking, oh, like people should know I want this, not clearly articulating what you want is examples. There's all kinds of different examples of not expressing yourself, under expressing yourself, dominating all conversations, over expressing yourself. Those are the two ends of the imbalance. So the balance is in the middle. You always know you're in balance because it's healthy. It's functional. It makes you feel good. It makes the people around you feel good. Vishuddha chakra. And next one at the third eye is purple, Ajna. Ajna chakra. It's intuition. It's where you start to tune into subtle awareness of yourself and of the world around you. It's where you move beyond simply seeing the world as the physical world. Your imagination, your power of being beyond the concrete comes out here. And the last one, Sahasrara, white, S-A-H-A-S, Sahasrara, R-A-R-A, Sahasrara. Sahasrara is the understanding is sometimes the word for it, but like is used, but what that means is bliss. It's like samadhi. It's the part of you that connects to the universal energy, this top of your head here. In some of the schools that I've studied in, Sahasrara is a special energy center. It's not considered to be a chakra by some of my teachers. But it is an energy center, an important one, and it's on most lists of chakras. So Mula Bandha, of course, is a really good way to impact on Muladhara. And if you want to impact on this area, Manipura and Swadhisthana, we have done Uddiyana, Uddiyana Bandha. And up here, Jalandhar Bandha, right? Back to the weekend that we were practicing bandhas. Megan's going to practice this stuff or talk about this stuff with you more this weekend, I'm sure. I'm just reviewing Jalandhar Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. So one of the ways that you can impact on these energy centers is to do the bandhas. Other ways are to do poses that impact on that part of your body. Basically just compress, stretch, twist any part that you're focusing on. Some schools of yoga philosophy will say that you cannot impact on the chakras physically, you have to do it mentally. And certainly in all yoga teachings, the physical practices are always more superficial than the meditative practices. So if there is imbalance, yes, you may need to, if the imbalance is coming from the outside, maybe the food that you're eating or some injury that you have is clogged up and impacted on the physical tissues and it's impacting on the energetics, maybe something physical is helpful, but the most important impact on the energetic body is the most subtle thing that we can create with our own body, which is the direction of our attention. So I'm going to repeat them all again so you hear them pronounced. Muladhara, Svadhisthana, and it's not Swadhisthana because that's 2W. So it's like Svadhisthana, like it's like a VW. Swadhisthana, Manipura, strength and power, Anahata, love, Vishuddha, expression, Ajna, intuition, Sahasrara is connection, is bliss, with connecting with the universe. So we are going to do a yoga practice with awareness brought to each of these centers. If you're having difficulty remembering the colors, if you remembered that rainbow color reminder from school. I think, what is it? Roy, what? Red, orange, yellow. Roy, G, B, P. I can't remember what it was now. Whatever that, could someone tell me?
Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv, yeah. Okay. I thought it was going to make more sense than that, but it doesn't. Okay. But anyway, it's the colors of the rainbow. So if you're wondering, which one comes first, it follows that because it's a reflection of, it makes sense. The rainbow has a pattern in nature, and everything in nature is reflected in us, right? It's all like we're all a continuation. So that makes a lot of sense. So before we begin practice today, I want you to turn the page in your notebook and draw this person again, just the black outline. And leave it blank. After we finish our practice, when you roll out of Shavasana at the end of class today, I would like you to pull out this outline again. And maybe, no pressure, because remember, you've got all Saturday and all Sunday to solidify these in your mind. But maybe you'll be able to write the color and the name of each chakra. You're going to learn much more about each chakra. In fact, you could write the color and the name and anything you remember from our discussions there at the end of class today. And then you'll go to sleep. Maybe you'll choose to go to sleep meditating on a chakra that you have noticed signs of in your daily life of imbalance. Like maybe some of those things, these signs of imbalance that I mentioned, you're like, wow, I'm noticing that in my life. Maybe just meditating on that color and that part of your body, not with any intention, simply bringing your attention there, breathing and bringing that color into your mind's eye and bringing that part of your body into your mind's eye. That's all you need to do for chakra meditation. It doesn't need to be complicated. Does anybody have any questions before we set up for class? Just unmute if you do have questions. I can't see anybody with their hand up. Okay. Okay, so if you have your black outline already drawn, you can put your notebook to the side. So you're not going to be tested on this. This is not something you need to turn in. So don't get stressed out about it. It's just an opportunity for you to return to it before you go to bed tonight and plant that seed more deeply and fertilize it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave this back here to remind you of what we're doing here today. And we will begin sitting on your mat, maybe on your bolster. So find a comfortable seated position. In your comfortable seated position, check that your hands are resting easily on your lap. Bring your awareness to the pelvic floor. Inhale, bring your awareness from the pelvic floor up past the navel, past the solar plexus, past the heart, the throat, the third eye, to to the top of the head. And if your eyes are not already closed, as you exhale, close your eyes and allow your awareness to pour down around the sides of your body. And on the next breath in, once again, bring your awareness to the pelvic floor, to the perineum, to that part of the pelvic floor that's just in front of the anus and at the base of the penis or the back of the vagina. And beginning the breath up, the breath pours you up through that line of powerful energy. As you exhale, that cascade of ease pouring down around you. As you inhale, each time you awaken that energy, you direct the flow with your mind. And as you exhale, and that energy flows down around you, you allow yourself to become heavier, your body to sink heavily into the floor. Your hands are heavier on your lap each time you exhale. Your shoulders soften more heavily away from your ears. Visualize your breath leaving from the bottoms of your feet, moving up to the pelvic floor, to the perineum, and holding there. So as you breathe in and out, visualize the breath pulsating the pelvic floor. And as it does, right at the perineum, visualize an energy center that is swirling. Allow your mind to relax and allow an image to appear. Maybe you see a swirling circle of red light, of energy. Maybe you see a cone-like shape. Maybe that swirl looks like a flower with energetic petals moving. As you breathe in and out in this area, allow whatever floats into your awareness to pulsate with your breath. And maybe as your breath pauses here, it may create a swirling in a certain direction or a sense of flower petals moving out, expanding, and then coming together on the breaths out. Allow yourself to stop seeking, to simply let your awareness pause in this energy center. Allow that place to pulsate, and as it continues to pulsate with your awareness, experience that focusing of the energy of Muladhara to spread and fill the whole area of your body. Below that area, the legs, the pelvic floor, the bladder, the anus, everything in that area. Like there's a red mist that is filling that whole area. And as you focus on it, it is healing and balancing. And as that happens, Muladhara chakra finds its natural rhythm for you, for your body, for your mind, for your energy. And there is a sense of settling into safety. of feeling connected, of feeling supported, of feeling taken care of by the universe. The Bija mantra for this part of your energetic system is Lam. Lam is a mantra that has no meaning, but the sound that you make when you chant it resonates at the same frequency of this area of the body. It's LAM, it's not lamb, it's Lam. Take a deep breath in and we'll repeat Lam, and as you repeat it, visualizing it impacting on the rhythm, cleansing, creating space for more natural flow in Muladhara chakra. Deep breath in. Lam, 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 Last one. Your awareness leaves the pelvic floor. Inhale, and as you approach the navel, the red mist begins to shift to orange. And you feel the whole reproductive area of your body being saturated by the soothing, healing orange energy. The whole reproductive system. Your literal, your physical space of creativity, and your seat of creation for your heart and mind and spirit. Your artist, you feel blocked, and your creative expression of how you are going to fix that problem or approach that problem. That focusing on Satisthana, the orange chakra, just below the navel area, Satisthana. Allow whatever form the movement of the energy at the center, in line with the spine. The energy spreads to the whole level of the body in that area, but the swirling is right in the center. And the Bija mantra, the mantra that resonates, that cleanses, that pulses and gets any inefficient flow patterns to fall back into natural harmonic flow, is Vam. We'll do slow Vams. Take a deep breath in. Vam, 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 vam. Inhale from orange upward past the navel, below the ribs, solar plexus. The orange becomes yellow, settling into your seat of self, your sense of who you are. Not the job you do, or the music that you like, or the house you live in, but your essence, who you were before any of that existed. The self you were born into this world as. When we feel who we are, we don't have to overreact and become overbearing, and we don't have to ever doubt that we have value. To quiet our voices and make ourselves smaller. Just that perfect balance in the middle. I am strength, I am power. The Bija mantra for Manipura chakra is Ram. Take a deep breath in. Ram, 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 Ram. Inhale upward to the heart center. Your yellow energy becoming green. The heart center falling wide open. Visualize your heart like a gate. Take a deep breath into the heart center, and as you exhale, feel the shoulders soften from your ears as your heart center falls wide open. Green energy swirling at the heart center, but also filling the whole chest cavity, the front to the sides to the back. The ribs are full, your heart is wide open. You are not closed to protect yourself from the vulnerability of expressing love. Allowing yourself to be loved. Experiencing love pouring into you and experiencing love pouring out of you as the breath pours in and out. Experiencing love from people that you feel loved by. And as you exhale, sending love out to the obvious people that you love in your life. And now the love comes in from further, from acquaintances, people you see but maybe will never meet, people on the other sides of the universe, maybe people who have sewn the clothes that you're wearing or grown the food that you ate today. People who are happy, people who are sad, people who are in pain. You feel the love coming in and you feel the love going out. That green light, that swirling energy finds the natural way that it swirls in your healthy, balanced body. The Bija mantra for Anahata chakra. Yam. YAM. Inhaling. Yam, 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 Yum, yum. Inhaling from the heart center toward the base of the neck. Green becoming blue. Find that hue, the color blue that your energy resonates with. Pause and allow it to swirl at the base of the neck, always in line with the spine. And the breath pours in and out. Sometimes in different parts of this line of energy, you may feel like it takes longer to feel the energy coalesce and to swirl. That may be an indication that this is an area that you need to meditate on for longer. Allowing yourself to simply relax and focus on that area, not with the intention of fixing, like there's something wrong. Simply pausing it, allowing it to be heard, and giving it time to figure out its natural flow. You're already perfect. The perfection just needs to be uncovered, to be understood, to be expressed. Blue energy filling the whole upper part, shoulders, the neck, jaw, tongue, even the ears, all of the parts of your body that are used to communicate, to express and to receive expression. The Bija mantra for Vishuddha chakra is Ham, H-A-M. Deep breath in. Hum, 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 hum. The blue energy moves upward in your mind's eye to the center of the head. It becomes purple. A violet color. Allow the color to exist the way it appears inside your mind's eye. First moving into the pineal gland, so sort of in the center of your brain, in the center of your head. The whole head filling with this purple energy, and now move the energy forward to the third eye, where your deep, deep, deep intuition connects with the world around you, and you tune into deeper insight, internal and external, your intuition. Different schools of yoga will have different teachings about the sound for this area. It is most frequently Om. We'll do one long, slow A-U-M Om as you focus on the third eye and this purple energy. Deep breath in for Ajna Chakra. Inhale from purple Ajna Chakra, intuition, to the top of the head to Sahasrara, 1,000-petaled white energy chakra. Experience yourself connecting with the universal energy. Inhale from the pelvic floor. Slowly as you inhale, first your breath is focusing on the red area, inhaling slowly up, navel orange, solar plexus yellow, heart green, throat blue, ajna purple, top of the head is white. As you exhale, that energy flows down around you. Inhaling, starting again. Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, Sahasrara, pouring around. Inhaling, your mind is stroking and guiding the energy upward. As you focus on each chakra, you create a pathway that allows the energy of each breath in to flow more easily upward, bringing the energy from your ground, your root chakra, all the way up through all of the other chakras to Sahasrara. And as you continue to focus inward, eyes still closed, begin to roll the pelvis in a circle toward the right. Slow movement. The top of the pelvis is back and then to the side and to the front, to the side, slowly moving around. Changing direction. As the pelvis rocks and rolls around in a circle, you're changing the impact of the pelvic floor. Muladhara chakra. So we're starting off with this solid foundation, this real sense of connection with the floor. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift the pelvic floor, lift the perineum up. Exhale, relax, opening your eyes. Inhale. Now as you inhale, squeeze the pelvic floor up. Exhale, slowly coming down and relaxing the pelvic floor. Inhaling, pelvic floor squeezes up. Exhaling down. Now we're physically plunging that area. So you're not squeezing everything in the lower part of the body. Just think about lifting the perineum, the front, just at the front of the anus. So the anus does lift and squeeze. You squeeze the coccygeus, the muscle that pulls the tailbone forward a little bit as you lift. Inhaling up and down. And relax. Remove your bolster if you have one. Straighten both legs into Dandasana. Pull back the sit bones so the top of the pelvis rocks forward so that the whole pelvis is spread wide. So you're sitting on your tailbone, you're squishing that area together. If you're sitting at a desk all day long, then Manipura, the energy, the natural pranic flow of your body is being disrupted by that constant crunch. It's not natural for the pelvic floor to be like that. Bend the left leg. As you bend the left leg, you shift the shape of the bones of the pelvis and stretch the pelvic floor in a slightly different way. We're early in class, so not planning to go really deep or low. Simply allow the leg to relax, externally rotating to the left, letting that pelvic floor stretch happen. Fingers to the floor. Inhale, chest lifts, head is back. Exhale, sigh. Keep the heart looking upward as you let the pelvis rock forward. The back of the leg is getting just gently lengthened here. Deep breaths in, long breaths out. Focusing on Muladhara Chakra. So as you're holding this pose, Muladhara Chakra is a red energy. Your mind is there. Watch the breath pouring in and out, impacting on that area physically as the diaphragm presses down and the pelvic floor pulsates. And in turn, everything that happens physically happens energetically. Your mind is here. Muladhara Chakra, swirling red energy. As you focus and maintain that sense of connection there, waking up that sense of safety and security, inhale up, straighten the opposite leg. Notice how letting that leg fall out to the side, make sure you're not sitting on the tailbone, pulls the pelvis in another slightly different shape. The pelvic floor is no longer being pulled open in the same way. Fingertips to the floor, because we are focusing on the pelvic floor here. We're focusing on the move forward of the pelvis. Maybe it won't move forward at all. We have the hamstrings and the limitation in the back of the legs, which is okay. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, relaxing here, not pulling yourself down, but staying here as gravity gently tugs the body. Letting the pelvis rock forward. So the heart's not looking down, the heart looks forward. Anahata Chakra is shooting forward. Imagine you have a green flashlight at your heart center. Anahata is not folding forward. So your breath continues to pulsate. The diaphragm presses down, the pelvic floor bulges with each breath in and out. Your mind is there. What color, what direction is the energy of Muladhara taking for you in this pose? Back to upright. Bend the knees. And bring the outside of the right leg, the inside of the left leg to the floor. And then inhale, knees up. Exhale to the other side. So hands are behind you to support you. Inhale, knees up. It's like a sitting upright, windshield wipers, exhaling down. So once you get the rhythm, inhale, knees up, exhale down, lubricating the hip joints. Bring your awareness to the pelvic floor. So as you are taking deep breaths in, pulsating the pelvic floor downward, you move back and forth. And change the shape of the pelvic floor over and over again as you move the femurs. Bringing blood flow. Bringing tone back into the pelvic floor, especially if you've been sitting for a long time. Back and forth. Come back to kneeling upright. Bring both feet to the side. And come to hands and knees pose. And as you are in hands and knees, straighten the left leg back behind you, rock back and forth, and let the heel pull your calf long. So as you're rocking back and forth, we're bringing some energy into the legs. And the energy of Muladhara impacts on the health and the wellness of the legs and the joints in the legs. Change sides, rock back and forth. Rock the heel forward, rock the heel back. Visualize that red energy like a red mist from Muladhara moving into the legs. If you have any hip issues, any knee joint, any ankle issues, anything going on there, feel like you're nourishing it, like you're sending a balm down. Come back to hands and knees pose. Inhale, left leg straightens, pelvis stays level, heel presses back, toes are forward. Pelvis is level, and lift the leg and bring it back to parallel. So lift and relax. The glute is activating here. So this is also in that general lower area and really terribly disrupted by sitting. Opposite arm comes out, lift the leg and the arm. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Feel the core starting to do a little bit more work here as well, bringing blood flow into the lower part of the body. Change sides. First, just focus on the leg. Press the heel back and the toes forward, and without thinking about your hands, really focus on squeezing the glute as much as you can. Squeezing, lifting, bringing blood flow and muscle tone and natural activity into that part. The pelvis stays level, so the low back is also being impacted here. Opposite arm. Now we'll start bringing the arm. The chest opens like you're doing a cobra as you lift the leg and the arm up. So it's not parallel, we come down to parallel. Back to hands and knees pose. From hands and knees pose, rotating the pelvis toward the right. And now toward the left. Start bringing your awareness upward from Muladhara to Svadhisthana. So as you're moving the pelvis from right to left, making direction changes from time to time, the pelvic floor is absolutely continuing to be active and impacted on, but as you move from side to side, you're feeling the low belly, the belly button getting involved, the low back a little bit higher in the low back here, the sacrum getting involved, the sacral chakra. And knees open, sit bottom onto the heels, come into child's pose, Balasana. Deep breath in, long breath out. Now you've moved upward into that orange energy area, into the sacral chakra. So think about the sacrum, so where the spine connects with the pelvis, the bones of the pelvis, the ilium on both sides. So as you bring your awareness there, it's not just the lowest part of the back, though, it's forward into your belly, into all the reproductive organs. And if you have any imbalance there for any reason, as we're doing poses that impact on this area, think about just allowing your energy to rest there. We're not fixing, we're never going in to fix something. Because your brain is newer than this part of your body. Inhale forward, press the palms into the floor, tuck the toes under, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So legs straighten, the backs of the legs that we just gently activated, getting longer now as the heels sink down toward the floor. Feel the glutes stretching a little bit more. Lift the left leg overhead. And then come forward into plank, like a leg lifted plank. Inhale. You don't need to go all the way down into plank, just like slightly forward. Squeeze the belly a little bit. So feeling how we are bringing just a little bit more focus a little higher. And now bring the lifted left leg forward into pigeon pose. So we have an even deeper awakening in the pelvic floor, more so than at the beginning when we were just letting that leg fall out to the side. Now that opening, open the heart. Exhale, slowly lower into whatever depth of pigeon is comfortable for you. If you want to put your head on a block, relax here. Think about the belly being open wide here. Inhaling and exhaling. So desire, sexuality, any issues in that area is imbalanced in Svadhisthana chakra. Any kind of creative blocks. This is a water, a flowing kind of energy. You're leaving that grounded, that earth energy of Muladhara chakra and moving into that water energy of Svadhisthana. There's flexibility here. Back to hands and knees. Into downward dog. On the other side, lift the leg. And just inhale forward and back. So you don't need to go all the way down. For some people, coming all the way down to plank is not going to be comfortable. Just kind of come forward and feel the core really squeeze to support you as you move back and forth here. Moving back and forth. Feel the work of the glute. And then bring the knee forward into pigeon pose. Pause here with the heart open and slowly lower. So this is, we're holding for a little while. You can use a block if you'd like, or pile your fists, or move slightly to the right or to the left side. Be informed by your awareness of Svadhisthana chakra, of that orange energy. As you settle into the pose and you focus there, wait to see how the energy begins to flow in that area. Press the palms to the floor, tuck the back toe under, come forward to hands and knees, a short downward dog, just to reset. Back to hands and knees. Sit on your heels. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Hero pose. Inhale, lift the ribs away from the floor. The heart looks toward the ceiling, shoulder blades wing back. And as you do this, creating space in Manipura chakra. So your awareness moves up from orange to yellow, to this area here, to your sense of strength and power. There's a sense of logic to the order of the chakras. You can't focus on being creative or finding yourself when you're struggling with survival. So we start at the bottom, we get that foundation. And when you have the foundation, then you try to figure out how to express yourself. Where's your creativity? Where is the seed for all of your action? And that's when you become known to yourself, your sense of self. And when you have that, you have willpower, you have strength, you have direction, you can follow through on things. Interlace the fingers, press the palms forward, and push back in the opposite. Feel the bottoms of the ribs lift away from the floor here. Fingers to the floor, bring the feet to the side, straighten back to Dandasana. We're focusing on Manipura, figuring out how that energy flows. We're looking to bring focus and strength. Press the palms into the floor for Pravadasana. Fingertips point toward the pelvis. Feet are going to press into the floor as the hands press into the floor. That's your foundation. Lift the pelvis toward the ceiling, upward facing plank. Feel the chest open, but feel that energy being held just between the belly button and the ribs, so it's core. We're still staying active in Svadhisthana, but we're moving upward too as well, moving into the top of that triangle of core focus. Exhale down and hang. wrap yourself around Manipura. So this is not Paschimottanasana. This is more yin style, hang forward. Deep breath in and out. So we're compressing the front side of Manipura and stretching the back, because remember that yellow energy spreads right across that cross section. Inhale, upward plank. Exhale down. So slow movement now. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling down. Moving up and down. Visualize yourself making that yellow energy heated as you lift up and down. Feeling a focus of power and strength here. Think of times in your life where you are overreacting, where you're insisting on being in control when it's not necessary. Or maybe when you are resisting taking action. Both those things, opposite sides. Being able to feel strong and secure and putting the right amount of effort in, coming back to sitting upright. Bend the knees. Fingertips to the floor, lift the chest open. Sigh and breath out. Bring the arms straight out. And slowly rock back a little bit until your upper body's in a V shape. Arms are out, lift the left leg and come down. Opposite leg, slowly come down. Feel if you're in this, really squeeze the core. Here you have to stay really active. Right from Svadhisthana into Manipura. That orange energy and then that yellow energy center. Really getting blood flow here. That's the physical part of it, but if your mind is wandering, bring it back, because we want to focus on the energetic part of this as well. Imagine yourself like sending a flood of cleansing energy upward, unblocking everything. Coming back to resting on your fingertips, chest open. Soles of the feet together, let the knees fall open. And check out your work. Inhale, eyes closed from the perineum, from Muladhara. There's your foundation, it's solid, it's stronger every time you come back. Inhale from red up to orange. Your creative center, you are so solidly grounded that the truest essence of who you are just explodes outward, the expression of you. And because you know who you are, inhaling higher into Manipura, the sense of self. You don't need to do too little or too much. Strong and solid, knowing exactly who you are. Bring these together, cross the legs, come forward to hands and knees. And from your hands and knees pose, inhale into cow pose, into back bend. So the belly button drops, the sit bones lift toward the ceiling, and the heart opens toward the front of the room. So as the tailbone lifts, feel the perineum lifting toward the ceiling in the back, the sacral chakra, the sacrum lifting toward the ceiling. Moving upward into Manipura, yellow energy stretched wide, and feel the ribs in the back coming together as the ribs in the front come apart. And as you breathe in and out here in Anahata Chakra, green energy, deep breath in and out, you are right now pulling the front area open, the back closed. Exhale. The pelvis shifts, but you're focusing on the ribs lifting toward the ceiling. The spine coming up from between the ribs as you exhale. Inhale, Anahata chakra shines forward. Exhale, you open the spaces between the ribs and that green light shoots up toward the ceiling on the back. Inhaling, Anahata shooting forward, like you have a giant lantern inside your heart center. And as you move back and forth here, the light's shining out from those bigger spaces you're creating with the ribs. Come back to a neutral, hands and knees. Inhale to the left side. Exhale to the right side. And now visualize that green lantern shining out between the ribs from side to side. Come back to center. Slowly lower onto the mat until the pelvis is on the mat, bending the elbows, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Inhale, sweep the chest forward like a wave. Shoulder blades come together, and the shoulder blades tip under as well. So the bottom of the shoulder blades tip under, the tops are back. And they come together a little, so you're pulling the chest open from side to side and from top to bottom. Holding this for a few breaths. Close your eyes if you'd like to. Inhale and exhale as you allow Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, to find its natural flow while you're holding cobra pose. Press the palms into the floor, activate the core, pull the pelvis back into a chest stretch, a puppy dog stretch. So the pelvis is a little bit behind the knees, so it's not quite the pelvis over the knees stretch. Just keep the hands exactly where you left them. Feel the armpits stretch, because this health and wellness, moving from that heart center into the armpits, chest is opening. Inhale, strong core, slowly lower into cobra pose and hold. The moment you are in the pose, you begin to focus on finding that reset of however that green Anahata heart center energy is swirling. Exhale, sinking into a different way of opening up that area. Feel the armpits spreading wide. Feel the lymph nodes having space to be stretched in new ways and for lymph to be pulled around in those areas. Deep breaths in and out. Inhale, back to cobra. Last time. Chest is open. Maybe you notice the chest opens more easily now. Imagine the breath is like a wave sweeping up. Heart is open. Inhale. Slowly lower left ear on the mat. Bring your arms to the sides. Relax. We're going to do Dhanurasana bow pose twice. So if when you bend your knees and reach back to hold your feet, if you can't comfortably hold both feet, instead hold just the left foot and reach the opposite arm out, or put a strap around your foot. So you can do the full version twice, or first do the left side and then the right side. So if you're just holding one foot, inhale, lift both thighs, the straight leg and arm lift, and so does the clasped side. Or you're holding both and lifting. And as you lift, the tops of the feet pull back behind you to lift Anahata chakra further from the floor to create a little more space for that light to shine out. If you didn't just eat, you could roll a little bit here. One more breath in, get taller. Exhale, slowly lower, and bring the opposite ear from last time on the floor. So holding that pose with the ear on the floor, deep breath in, long breath out as you're holding the ear on the floor, relaxing your heart, feeling the floor supporting it beneath, turning the head in the opposite direction. Because as we get closer to leaving Anahata, to moving up toward the next chakra, we're kind of gently moving the neck around, getting it ready for your attention. Because you've already done this back bend once before on one side or one time, it's going to be easier for you to move into it this time. Choose the opposite hand to foot, right side. If you're doing the one-sided version, inhale, lift both thighs, or reach back and repeat again. If you're repeating, you're going to feel like the knees and the chest open more easily and higher. If the knees are splaying way out, keep them in line with the hips as you lift higher. Maybe you rock back and forth. Heart stays open. Exhale. Opposite ear on the mat again and relax. So holding that deep breath in, ears on the floor, relaxing. So Dhanurasana bow pose is a heart opening pose. Your mind was there, so we're focusing on Anahata chakra, but it is also impacting on all of the chakras that we have focused on. Right from Muladhara, the red chakra at the perineum. Sadhisthana, the orange chakra, right at the reproductive center near the belly button, near the navel. The yellow Manipura energy, the power energy at the solar plexus. Anahata, green, heart center. And inhale, press the palms into the floor, come to your knees, kneeling upright. So lots of variations here for camel pose. So, Ustrasana, first fingertips to the floor. Everyone can do this version, fingertips to the floor, or this is one version. You can open the knees as much as you need to or keep them hip width. Inhale, lift the chest. Fingers to the floor, hands could be on blocks behind you if you need a simpler version. Deep breath in and out. Exhale. Coming down. So now I want you to think about when you lift up, don't let the whole head drop way back, support the neck, but we're opening the heart center, but they're bringing that energy upward now into Vishuddha chakra. So we're leaving green energy. The focus is now becoming the blue energy of our communicative, expressive part of the chakra system. So fingers to the floor, inhale. Everything is being lifted and impacted, but the chin lifts. You look at the ceiling just above and back a little bit. Exhale, come back down and bring the chin to the chest. So what we're going to do is move from that easy Shalabhasana stretch to coming back to a Jalandhar Bandha. So it's not chin to chest, it's the chin comes down and goes back until you're in a really weird, uncomfortable, like triple double chin kind of pose. Okay, so focus, blue energy. If you have trouble expressing yourself, trouble speaking up and saying, I want this, expecting people to understand what you need instead of saying what you need, then maybe Vishuddha needs some attention. So inhale, belly lifts, neck lifts, exhale down, really short Jalandhar Bandha, inhale up, exhale down. And keep repeating. Feel like you're squeezing that energy, pressing it in, and then inhale, letting it go and flow wide, spreading down the neck and up the neck. Exhaling that pressure, like you're blowing on a coal in a fire, you feel it intensifying. And then inhale, it shoots down the neck, up the neck, into the ears, into the shoulders, into the chest, and back again. And up, exhaling back down and to hands and knees pose. Bring the feet out to the, actually first before we do that, bringing the head to the floor. Just rocking back and forth here on the top of the head. So we're getting close to the top of the head here to Shirshasana pose. Top of the head. Coming back up right here. Lift the chin. Exhale, chin to chest. Coming back down to the floor. Bring the feet out from underneath you, lying on the back. Okay, so lying on the back, grab your bolster or your block and a strap maybe. So there's lots of variations to what we're going to do next. So lying down, bring the pelvis on top of your block or on top of your bolster. Maybe use your strap to make it less work to hold your feet up right here for a supported Viparita Karani. So Viparita Karani is a gentle half shoulder stand. If you have a ponytail like me, you may need to move it. Okay, and the pelvis is lifted. So we have the perineum, Muladhara, red moving to orange, Swadhisthana. Navel area moving up to yellow. Manipura being impacted on here. Heart center, a little open. And bring the chin towards the chest a little bit so we're focusing on Vishuddha chakra. And that's where we're focusing as we hold here. So this is an option. You can stay here if you'd like to remove the strap and work on actively keeping the legs up. Go ahead and do that. If you are comfortable doing Viparita Karani without the block, so the benefit is there, even if you use the block, think about that energy flow in the neck chakra. So as you go into, if you're going into Viparita Karani by rocking forward, bringing the feet behind your head, walking your hands up the back to lift into Viparita Karani, then pause and notice that throat chakra energy. Did you feel more like what you needed tonight was a supported version? If you're comfortable coming up into shoulder stand, we're just holding for a very short period of time. Bring the chin to the chest. So that you're really squeezing Vishuddha chakra together. If you're in shoulder stand, slowly lower the feet to the floor behind you. Press the palms into the floor. If you're coming out of shoulder stand, slowly lowering. If you have a block underneath you, if you did the block version, then pull the block out of the way. Remove your strap. Bring the soles of the feet down. Straighten the legs. Slide your back for a moment. Press the palms into the floor on either side of your body. Actually slide them underneath so that they are underneath your bottom. Just at the small of the back. So the upper arms are on the floor. Press your elbows into the floor until you're lifted up. Your hands are kind of just below the low back, but right at the top of the buttocks. Elbows are still on the floor. Inhale, lift the chest and slowly lower the head toward the floor. So you are going to feel the chest opening wider here as the top of the head presses into the floor. And that neck energy that we were compressing in whatever version of Viparita Karani or Sarvangasana that you chose is now being stretched out in Matsyasana and fish pose. Nice deep breaths in here, long, slow breaths out as you focus on the natural balance of the flow of the energy in this pose for Vishuddha chakra, for that blue swirling energy. And chin toward the chest, slowly coming out. So you come out by just slowly bringing the chin to the chest, keeping the head on the floor. Bend the knees, remove the hands, look up at the ceiling. The knees are bent and feet are open about hip width. Your gaze is at the ceiling. Bring the energy focus from the neck upward to first the pineal gland in the center of the head, and then from there to the third eye. So we're moving into a purple vibration energy level. Your gaze is on the ceiling. This is where your intuition is. It is also where you can focus and be really clear. This is where your clarity is. Everything, all the things that muddle your true perception of the way things are, dissipate. Hands are at the sides. Inhale. Exhale. Both knees fall to the right side. Your gaze goes left. So your gaze moves to the left. And as your knees are coming up, your gaze draws a line up the wall and to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, it draws a line across the ceiling to the floor on the other side. So the knees go away from your gaze. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, gaze moves away from the knees on the other side. So inhaling up, gaze to the side. Imagine your gaze is like spray paint, and as you move back and forth slowly with your breath, you're drawing a line up the wall, across the ceiling and down, and your gaze is becoming so concentrated that as you move back and forth, that line of energy seems as if it's seared in that perfect arc. How is the third eye energy being focused now? So we've energized it and awakened it. Inhale back to center. Bring your thighs into the belly. Wrap your arms around your legs. And then as you exhale, let the knees fall toward the left side. Press the elbows into the floor if you'd like to help bring the heart center to face upward a little more. We're relaxing in Jathara Parivardhasana. So if you need to bring a block or a bolster between your legs or put something underneath your shoulder, let the heart fall toward the right side as the knees go to the left. And now this is where that focused energy that you awakened at Ajna Chakra, that purple energy, now softens as you hold this pose, and watch the breath pulsate and create the shape of the flow of energy in Ajna Chakra as you hold this position, as you lie on your back in that lying spinal twist position. So we are relaxing in spinal twist, and as you hold that pose, the pelvis falling in one direction, the head in the other, you are beautifully wringing out that whole pattern of pranic flow. Twisting the whole spine from the perineum, the sacrum, through the navel, through the solar plexus, the heart, base of the neck. In your focus, eyes closed or gaze soft. What are you feeling about your body and the world? It's not a thinking opportunity. It's a create space for intuition that just finds its own way in. When you direct it, you're using the mind. The mind is not as subtle as this intuition. Ajna Chakra, purple energy. The Bija mantra for here is Om. In your mind's eye, with absolute silence, silently repeating Om. Visualize as the breath goes in, you're preparing for Om. And as the breath goes out, you silently allow the sound of Om to vibrate from the pineal gland, from the center of the mind out through the third eye. Inhale back to center. Wrap yourself around your legs, head toward the knees. Exhale, feet fall to the other side. Do whatever you need to do to relax. You don't want anything distracting you from the focus. We're looking at energetic body impact now. So distraction from muscles, that's not what we're looking for. We've been working to get those out of the way with our movements. So relax in the opposite direction. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, the lower half of the body falls to the right, the opposite in the upper part of the body. As the gaze falls away from the knees, holding this position, eyes can close or gaze is soft. As you feel the impact of unwinding that line of prana and then wringing it out to the other side. Settling here, bringing your awareness back once again to Ajna Chakra, to that purple energy, to the third eye. Reaping the benefit of having focused on all of the previous chakras. The foundation of Muladhara. The creativity, the freedom, the flow, the Sadhisthana, that orange energy. And the strength and the power and the sense of identity in Manipura and the solar plexus. That yellow energy. All of that allowing you to release your heart, Anahata chakra, wide open, letting that green energy fill the room. When all of that is flowing, you know exactly what to express, what needs to be expressed, and how it needs to be expressed. To speak loudly and firmly and clearly and kindly and sweetly. Moving into Anahata, purple energy. Ajna, purple energy. And coming back to center. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor and straighten the legs out to the side and arms out to the side like you're star-shaped or about to make a snow angel. This wide open position, holding this, eyes closed, and bring your awareness to the top of the head, to Sahasrara. Sahasrara allows you to tune in to that unbroken line of energy that connects you to every soul, to the whole universe, to the tiny particles on the opposite side of the universe. You are them, they're you. Pranic flow in your body, flowing with so much ease that you're able to receive energy from the universe and communicate in return. You're speaking the language of the pranic energetic flow. Allow the movements of your practice to release you heavily into the floor. And your body melts into such ease that your body releases any blockages that may have stopped the prana, the life force in your body, from flowing with ease, from nourishing your cells, your organs, your systems, from impeding your sense of connection and flow internally and externally. Sometimes the Bija mantra for Sahasrara is Om, and sometimes it's silence. Repeating the chakra awareness meditation that we began class with in this different body, in this different mind, in the body-mind that you've been creating for the past hour. Inhale from the bottom of your feet, a red energy moving upward, filling your legs, the pelvic floor. Pause here, breathing at Muladhara, red energy foundation. From your foundation, inhale to creative, flowing freedom, orange energy at the navel. Inhaling to yellow energy, to the solar plexus, to strength, to identity, yellow, Manipura. Inhaling upward to heart center, to green, to Anahata, love. Inhaling upward to Vishuddha, to blue, to creative expression and meaningful listening. Inhaling upward to Ajna, to intuition, purple energy, pineal gland, third eye. Inhaling upward to Sahasrara, connect to the universal energy, white. Exhale, fountain coming down around. There's like a rainbow happening. As you inhale, you pick up all of the colors of your rainbow to the top of the head. Exhaling, they gush down around. You have a rainbow of pranic flow pouring up effortlessly through the center of the body and rushing down around. And now as you continue to lie here, release the directioning of the flow with your mind. Allow yourself to settle into Shavasana. And observe which chakra is asking to be focused on. If you are unsure, you can start at the bottom and work upward. If there is a chakra where you feel that energy is not flowing, you can't see the color, there's nothing broken, everything's fixed, everything's fine, everything's perfect. It's just having difficulty being seen. It's all there. You just pause with no expectation, with just loving energy. Like that area is just a toddler that needs some loving attention. And you pause and you wait. You may find that you pause in one area in one color. And eventually it sorts itself out and another area may speak to you. Or maybe there is a color that you are feeling so powerfully resonant with tonight that it fills your whole body and your mind. And you allow yourself to sink into the rest of your Shavasana, watching the breath lift your body and change the shape as that color pulsates, as that energy that you are now open to understanding and communicating with heals you, balances you in the way you need to be healed at this moment, at this point in your life. Lam, Ram, Ram, Yam, Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. As you wiggle your toes, visualize that red energy filling the feet and the legs, nourishing the tissues, moving into the hip joints, the pelvic floor. As you're lying here, add a little more movement. Move the torso a little bit. Feel the pelvis going from side to side, moving your energy and your awareness into Sadhisthana, into orange, pelvic floor level, awakening. Move the ribs a little, feeling your awareness moving to yellow Manipura, solar plexus, awakening. Moving into the heart center, green Anahata. Turn your head from side to side as the neck moves from side to side. Vishuddha, blue energy, communicative expression. And as the head moves, begin to be aware of the third eye moving, Ajna, purple energy. Inhale to the top of the head, Sahasrara, white, clear energy. Squeeze the fingers and release and roll to your side, pressing yourself to upright, sitting upright on your mat in a comfortable upright position. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Close the left nostril. Inhale through the right. Close the right. Exhale left. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Close left. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Close. Exhale other side. 2, 3, 4. Follow your own count. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Now that the body has been physically and mentally tuned, alternate nostril breathing, focusing on keeping that intuitive mind alive as you move into the rest of your day and into sleep tonight. You can continue Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing, or add the Mahabandha, which means that after you inhale, you lift the pelvic floor, so Mula Bandha, suck in the belly, Uddiyana Bandha, bring the chin down for Jalandhar Bandha and hold for 2, 3, 4. Release your blocked chin, belly, pelvic floor, exhale. And then inhale all over again. So you're just doing a count of 4 for each part. You can skip the bandhas if you'd like to just keep doing Anuloma Viloma. You do Anuloma Viloma or the bandhas, or if at any point your breath feels like it's not flowing in and out easily, just drop your hands to your lap and observe your breath, moving your awareness from Muladhara chakra all the way up through to Sahasrara and releasing around you as you exhale. If you're doing the bandhas, the next time you exhale through the left nostril, or Anuloma Viloma, the next time you exhale left nostril, release and release your hands to your lap. Eyes can stay closed. Begin breathing from Muladhara, red, Svadhisthana, orange, Manipura, yellow, Anahata, green, Vishuddha, blue, Ajna, purple, Sahasrara. Commit yourself when you finally go to bed tonight to pausing and going up through each chakra, noticing which one seems to be the energy that is releasing the most amount of energy, that is asking you for attention, and allow yourself to go to sleep tonight, focusing on that energy as you sink into a deeper level of awareness. Inhaling for a final Om. Take a deep breath in. Bring your left hand to front of your belly, and as you inhale, sweep that hand just in front of your body, above, and slowly come down the other hand. So your hands are just slowly on top of your body, sweeping the prana up through that pathway that you have awakened so fully. You can keep the eyes closed or open them if you're unsure what we're doing, just inhaling slowly up. Maybe you feel like there's a sticky energy on your palms that you're pulling upward as you move. Slowly moving up, stroking that prana up through that important pathway that you will study so much more tomorrow. Maybe you feel a tingling in your palms as you slowly move up that energy. And now bring your hands about a centimeter apart and imagine you're rolling a little mini marble-sized snowball. Your hands don't touch. Rolling them between your hands. Maybe you start to feel like a tingling energy or a sticky energy between your hands. Pull them apart a little and bring them back together slowly. Feel that pranic energy in your palms. Roll it again. Slowly, maybe you feel like you can keep the hands further apart and still feel that prana now. Pulling the hands apart and then rolling some more. And now pause. Is there a part of your body that is under the weather? Part of your body that is speaking to you by being repeatedly injured or achy? It needs some listening, it needs some prana. Take your hands and bring that prana to wherever is needed. Rest your hands there. Pause, deep breaths in and out. Hands together at heart center. Sending gratitude out to everyone in their homes, sending loving energy and wishes for safety and comfort and coziness and warmth. All of the sense of safety and foundation that Muladhara brings to everyone as they go to bed tonight, and the wind swirls around your house, that sense of being rooted and grounded in safety and connection. Powerful and strong in you this evening. Namaste. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. We're finishing a little bit earlier on purpose. If you want to sit for a little while longer and meditate a little more on the chakras before you sit and fill in your empty sketch, then feel free to do that. But before you finish your practice, before you leave this energy awakening, sit down with your piece of paper and write down the things that we have practiced today in class. If you didn't remember them all, it's okay. Tomorrow you'll review them again. And sleep well. And see you next weekend for me, but Megan tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody.